Okay, now we're going to talk about some word problems. Same thing using function rules. So sometimes we'll be writing the function, sometimes it'll be given to us. Okay, number one, write a function rule to calculate the cost of buying X pounds of peaches if the cost is $1.99 per pound. So basically, X is our number of pounds of peaches. So our f of X, well, if we buy X pounds, how much do we pay? $1.99 times that. So $1.99 times X. That's all it is. Okay. Number two, Martin earns $7.50 per hour proofreading ads at a local newspaper. His weekly wage W can be described by the equation W equals 7.5H, where H is the number of hours worked. Write the equation in functional notation. So that would just be f of H equals 7.5H. Then part B, find f of 15, f of 20, and f of 25. Well, f of 15 means we do 7.5 times 15, which is 112.50. F of 20 is 7.5 times 20. That is 150. And then f of 25 is 7.5 times 25. That is 187.50. So explain what each answer in part B means in terms of the problem. So let's talk about the context. Okay, so basically to know that f of 15 equals 112.50, what does that tell you? Well, that tells you that Martin makes 112.50 for working 15 hours. Okay, that's the context of the problem. It's always important to know, like when you're finding evaluating a function, what does that tell you? So f of 20 tells you that Martin makes $150 for working 20 hours. And then f of 25, Martin makes $187.50 for working 25 hours. Okay, that's all that means. So that is part C. All right, one more example. We have Christina earns $7.50 per hour babysitting. Write an algebraic expression to represent the money Christina will earn if she works for H hours. Well, the number of hours times $7.50, so $7.50H. Part B, choose 5 values for the number of hours Christina can babysit. Create a table with H and the amount of money she will make during that time. Well, let's just do, if our hours, we can just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is her amount of money. We'll call it M. Whoops. M with one too many humps there. So an M. So 1 hour, 750 times 1 is 750. For 2 hours, 750 times 2 is 15. 3 hours, 750 times 3 is 2250. 4 hours, 750 times 4 is 30. In 5 hours, 750 times 5 is 3750. So use the values in your table to create a graph. So remember, with graphs you want a label. So this is our number of hours, and this is the money she makes. I am going to go up just by 750 this each time here, because that can stay pretty standard. Okay, and then number of hours, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1 hour is 750, 2 hours 15, 3 hours 2250, 4 30, and 5 3750. Now, part D, does it make sense to connect the points in your graph with a line? Sure, why not? If she works for 0 hours, she'd make 0 money. She could work for a half hour and make half of 750. Okay, so yes, because she could work, she doesn't have to work for just 1 hour or just 2 hours. She can work for parts of an hour. So yes, that makes sense because she can get paid for part of an hour as well. Okay, that wouldn't make sense if you were talking about, say, she works for a number of plants or something like that. She's trying to build a garden, so she's going to work for a store, and for each hour she works, she gets a plant. They're not going to say you work for a half hour and you get a half a plant. Okay, so that's not something that could be half. So in that sense, no, you would not connect the points. Okay, so that's just a question talking about context there. All right, next is some U-Try problems. Here's a word problem. I want you to go ahead and try that, and we will go over it during the next class. All right? And that's it for today.